All right, there's more breaking news coming in this hour, this time from the Supreme Court. The Apex Court has allegedly voiced its anger at what it calls a big insult by Sahara to make them assemble for the person who is not willing to pay a call. The proposal, according to the Supreme Court, was actually dishonorable. The Supreme Court has rejected Sahara's proposal and the next date of hearing has been fixed for the 11th of March. Jaskirat Singh Bawa, correspondent, is getting us the latest from outside the Supreme Court. Jaskirat, after the SEBI said no to Sahara's initial proposal, the Supreme Court also backing it now.
Well, that's right. In fact, the SEBI lawyers were able to convince the Supreme Court that this proposal by Sahara lawyers was not sufficient enough. But I must say that we saw a visibly upset Supreme Court bench today. This is an out-of-turn hearing. This was a special assembly of the two judges which are hearing this matter. They were not scheduled to set up for a bench today, so they actually came together to listen to Sahara's proposal, which they initially were made to believe by Sahara was their final and fresh proposal, which should be up to the satisfaction of the bench. When it wasn't found to the satisfaction of the bench got angry, said that it was a big insult, quote-unquote, to make these judges assemble for a man who is not willing to pay the money that he must pay. At the same time also referring to this particular proposal as a dishonorable one, which is clearly a visible anger from the Supreme Court. However, a little leeway given to Subrata Roy Sahara by allowing his financial advisors and his lawyers to meet him between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every day, at least until Tuesday, which is the next date for this matter to be listed. His lawyers also want his custody to be shifted from judicial to police custody, which will allow an easier facilitation of meeting with his financial advisors and lawyers.
All right, Jaskirat, so what you're telling us is the Supreme Court has allowed Sahara's lawyers and directors to meet Subrata Roy between 10 and 2 every day. This is one of the reasons that the Sahara group had cited for not being able to make a payment, because they said they're not being able to get access to their chief, whose agreement is crucial for crucial decisions that they need to take.
So that's right. That's what the Sahara lawyers are implying, that since in this kind of a setup, the kind of setup that Sahara has got going on in his business empire, he is the end person to sign off on all such big things. And there is no one who can actually take a call of such magnitude in his absence. And because of that, it is pertinent that the lawyers have complete access to Subrata Roy Sahara and that he's able to sign off on important documents or be able to consult his financial advisors. The current jail who is under judicial custody do not allow the lawyers to be able to freely meet with their client in an easy manner, which could help facilitate this kind of a decision. The bench was very amicable to this particular suggestion. The judges said that if you want us to help you with the arranging meetings, we are more than willing to help you with that, but you must pay, that being the caveat. So the Supreme Court ensuring that while the understanding is that he will remain in custody, if I can just go back to another observation made by the bench said that he's only been in custody for over 2 days. What about the remaining 1.5 years that this entire contempt plea has actually been going on, that he actually did not pay the money for? So clearly indicating the anger of the Supreme Court over there. Now we have to wait and watch what exactly will the Sahara lawyers do about getting their client out of jail now, because even if this proposal was not acceptable to the Supreme Court, it seems highly unlikely that they could come up with something more satisfactory by the 11th of March, but that's a wait and watch. There was a lot of visible frustration on the Sahara lawyers' side also, because they have been burning the midnight oil. They have been working around the clock to try and figure out a way which would be satisfactory to both Sahara and SEBI, to Supreme Court and SEBI.
Right. Jaskirat, you initially reported earlier in the day that one of the offers made by Sahara's lawyers was that upfront they're willing to make a payment of about 2,300 crores in the next 3 days. Supreme Court had said that Sahara should try and make a more attractive offer to SEBI. What happened to that proposal? Did Sahara not come back with a counter proposal?
And I'm afraid the Sahara were unable to come back with a counter proposal to that particular aspect, because in the morning again there wasn't a very deliberate or detailed argument that went on. It was all on the face of it, whatever the initial arguments were given, or whatever the initial impression of the SEBI lawyers was. However, after some more study of the proposals, the lawyers were able to come back into the Supreme Court for their special mentioning, special hearing. But it seems like whatever the proposal was rejected outright, because it wasn't to the satisfaction to either of the bench or of the SEBI lawyers.
All right. So basically, at the end of the day, Sahara Chief Subrata Roy to continue in jail even though his lawyers have been granted access to him between 10 and 2 every day. Thanks so much, Jaskirat, for bringing us up to date with developments on that story.